Thanks for joining us at I.S.O.E. We hope you and your family are well. In this video we will be exploring a few of the different Halloween traditions from around the world. So depending where you live in the world, Halloween may be known as All Halloween, All Hallows Eve or All Saints Eve. In the past decade or so, Halloween traditions have spread worldwide and have become increasingly popular in places such as Europe and Mexico. Each country still remains unique and has its own way of celebrating life and death. No matter what age we are, Halloween seems to be just as festive as the year before. But Halloween as we know it, is celebrated differently around the world and sometimes even falling on different days. First, we'll travel to Ireland, where Halloween all started for its annual Puka festival. Halloween began as a pagan celebration over 2,000 years ago in Ireland as part of a festival known as Samhain. Traditionally celebrated on the 31st of October to the 1st of November, the Celtic festival of Samhain celebrates the end of the annual harvest and the coming of winter. In this celebration, when the light turns to dark and the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead thin, the creatures of Samhain, Ireland's ancient Halloween tradition, come to life. Roaming the darkness like a shadowy spectre, the shape-shifting spirit of Puka comes alive, changing the fortunes of all who cross her path as she transforms the night into a colorful playground of hallowed celebration. Through the spectacular nights at Puka Festival, they salute the Halloween spirits through folklore, food, myth and music, reopening the pathways of reflection and celebration carved by travelers over 2,000 years ago. This tradition is very similar to the one found in Chinese religion, called the hungry ghost. The hungry ghost represents beings who are driven by intense emotional needs in an animalistic way. According to Chinese tradition, the seventh month of the lunar calendar is known as Ghost Month. As the story goes, during this month the gates of hell fly open and restless spirits of the dead are released free to wander among the realm of the living. Designed to please, comfort and fulfill these spirits, there are many traditions, rituals and offerings that happen during what is known as the Hungry Ghost Festival, also known as the Ghost Festival or Ghost Day. The festival is an annual event observed primarily by Chinese communities in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, mainland China and regions with diasporic Chinese populations throughout the globe. The Hungry Ghost Festival involves various rituals aimed at appeasing the hungry ghosts by providing them with offerings. People begin to make food, burn incense and joss paper, setting up temporary altars or stages for ritual performances. These offerings are meant to provide nourishment and fulfill the needs of the wandering spirits. Next on our list was a celebration called the Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead, known as Dia de los Muertos, is a holiday traditionally celebrated on November 1st and 2nd, though other days, such as October 31st or November 6th, may be included depending on the locality. It is widely observed in Mexico, where it largely developed, and is also observed in other places, especially by people of Mexican heritage. Although related to the simultaneous Christian remembrances for Hallowtide, it has a much less solemn tone and is portrayed as a holiday of joyful celebration rather than mourning. The multi-day holiday involves family and friends gathering to pay respects, and to remember friends and family members who have died. These celebrations can take a humorous tone, as celebrants remember funny events and anecdotes about the departed. Keeping it moving, we have our next celebration, which is called Fate Ged, or the Festival of the Dead. The Festival of the Dead is one of the most important celebrations in the Voodoo religious calendar. People dress up, take to the streets, dance their communion with the ancestors, and walk in processions to the graveyards where they feed their ancestral dead with the gifts of their own table. In this way, spirits are honored and their protection is gained for the coming year. In churches all over the country, there is music, dancing, and feasting. The priests and the people come together, and there is enough drumming, singing, and laughter to literally raise the dead. It is a time for celebration, for reconnecting with the past and preparing for the future, with processions, sacred rituals, and spiritual observances taking place all throughout the street. Voodooists come in a spiritual pilgrimage to the cemetery to pay their respect to the dead, but first permission of passage has to be obtained. The grave of Papa Ged, the first man who ever died, has ancestral services that are held at the crossroads, considered to be the bridge between life and death. And speaking of death, You ever wanted to spend Halloween with Dracula? Let's visit Sigosora, the birthplace of the real Dracula, Vlad, the Impaler. In Dracula's castle, also known as Bran Castle, located in Transylvania, in Romania, is a popular tourist destination and is known for its association with the legend of Dracula. Every year, the castle hosts a Halloween party that attracts visitors from around the world. The party is held on the Saturday before Halloween and lasts from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. The monument became home to the world's most notorious vampire, Count Dracula, made famous by Bram Stoker's 1987 novel about the curse of the undead. Count Dracula is based on Vlad, who was allegedly imprisoned here for a few months. If you're tempted to relive a story that's over 120 years old, Halloween in Transylvania is something you might want to look into. It's essential to pack your costume Halloween ready for this All Hallows Eve celebration, where the scary soiree at Hotel Transylvania kicks off with a blood-pumping gathering with 1,000 fearless, fun seekers from around the globe. Even before the Dracula novel brought about Halloween in Romania, the region of Transylvania has for centuries had its legends about the undead, called strigoi, that still exist today. The Halloween party inside Bran Castle, as it beams in its yellow glow, is a fitting end to the trip in a destination already filled with folklore. Constructed in 1382, its original purpose was to protect the border between Transylvania and Wallachia, but now it's known as Dracula Castle, home to the legend and host to this European Halloween celebration. Rumors abound that Bran Castle is definitely haunted, with the most well-known spirits said to be Vlad the Impaler and Queen Mary, whose heart is buried at the castle grounds. The spooky sights of Bran Castle have historians waiting for you on each floor to tell you everything from its history to its ancient ghost stories within the narrow winding stairways on top of 60 old timbered rooms. Travel the underground passages, secret tunnels, and view collections of furniture and antiques dating back from the 14th to the 19th centuries. Last on our list has Halloween written all over it as we ended our research in Wales. Terror Mountain is a popular Halloween event that takes place in Aberystwyth, Wales. Known for its live-action horror experiences, Terror Mountain is considered one of the biggest Halloween events that is held on selected nights in October. Ready to terrify those brave enough to visit, with 5 frighteningly immersive live-action horror attractions as well as food, a bar and more. The event is based just outside Aberystwyth and is set in a genuine Victorian mine. Visitors can expect to experience a variety of terrifying live-action horror attractions that are designed to emulate scary experiences. The creative team at Terror Mountain has developed an array of attractions that bring a variety of horrors to life. So from hungry ghosts to haunted castles, Halloween is celebrated around the world, and no matter how different these traditions may seem, Halloween is a night of ritual and respect to the ones who have died and the spirits that remain with us today. From all of us at I.S.O.E, have a happy Halloween, and don't forget to stay blessed, stay safe and stay woke.